Phylicia Rashad is speaking out at last. Fans are stunned and in a state of disbelief after learning what she disclosed regarding Malcolm Jamal Warner's last days. Was it truly an accident that killed him, or was Malcolm aware that the end was in sight? You won't believe the dark, unexpected turn this story takes, from terrifying warnings to heartbreaking, intimate confessions. Stay with us because what you're going to hear could alter your perception of his terrible last minutes. The world has been in shock ever since Malcolm Jamal Warner, the adored Cosby Show performer, talented musician and cultural icon, was discovered dead at the age of 54. The story never completely fit together, even though the first reports called it a terrible drowning occurrence. Fans were left feeling deeply saddened, perplexed, and with questions. However, things are starting to make sense now. Phylicia Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable and had an unshakable friendship with Malcolm on and off screen, has made a troubling admission in a time of intense emotion and candor. She asserts that Malcolm was aware that his time was running out, and even alluded to it in private discussions a few days prior to his passing. Malcolm said something that now seems to be a warning. Was he fighting a silent battle? Did he tell Phylicia about a secret sickness, worries, or threats? And why is everyone else on The Cosby Show so silent? In our in-depth analysis today, we're examining each terrifying detail from Malcolm's last known public appearance, his passionate conversation with Phylicia, his last text messages, and the eerie theory that he might have foreseen or perhaps planned his demise. After seeing this video, you'll not only have a fresh perspective on this tragedy, but you might also feel as though Malcolm left a message that we all missed. The tragic death of Malcolm Jamal Warner rocked the entertainment industry. He gained notoriety on The Cosby Show as Theodore Huxtable. Malcolm was not merely a television personality. He was a father, a multi-talented artist, and a man adored by both colleagues and fans. His final days, however, were apparently anything but tranquil behind the scenes. According to others close to Malcolm, he appeared notably quieter and more reclusive than normal in the weeks before his death. He had been avoiding social media and public events and keeping to himself more than his typical creative and cheerful self. In a recent emotional interview, Phylicia Rashad, who plays Malcolm's character's on-screen mother and close friend, revealed that Malcolm had confided in her about his mounting anxieties and concerns for his safety and well-being. She said Malcolm had a feeling something wasn't right, but he never said it clearly. He said to Phylicia, "I feel like I'm on borrowed time, but I'm not sure why." Family members subtly acknowledged that Malcolm had been going through some personal difficulties, but they never anticipated it ending so suddenly. This kind of vulnerability shocked many because Malcolm was generally seen as a strong and resilient man. More enigmatic are the final texts and phone calls Malcolm sent out. In the days leading up to his death, Malcolm was spotted at a small private gathering with longtime friends and co-workers. According to those who attended, he was unusually solemn and even made remarks about ending chapters and finishing the book that now seem uncannily prophetic. "There's so much left unsaid, maybe it's better this way." According to an insider, he sent cryptic messages to a few close friends, including, "I wish I had more time to say goodbye." What did he mean? Was Malcolm expressing a deeper understanding of his fate? And this is where things take a darker turn. Although drowning, an accident, was listed as the official cause of death, some people think there may have been more going on behind the scenes. The concept that Malcolm understood in some way deep down that his time was limited is a new dimension added by Phylicia Rashad's disclosure. Some fans and conspiracy theorists have noted that Malcolm's final public remarks contained enigmatic comments regarding mortality and fate, which sparked heated curiosity. Hold on to that thought, because the following section will go into the unsettling information Phylicia disclosed, such as the private talks. But could his death have been something he expected, or was there something sinister waiting in the background? Warning signs and the terrifying hypothesis that Malcolm might have been planning his last moments all along. Phylicia Rashad's recent disclosures have shocked the entertainment industry and the fan base alike. Her remarks are unavoidable because she had a close personal and professional relationship with Malcolm Jamal Warner. Malcolm confided that he had been going through a deep, almost spiritual struggle, according to Phylicia, who opened up about private moments she shared with him in his final weeks in an emotional interview that has since gone viral. These moments paint a far more complex picture than the public has seen, as they describe Malcolm's quiet acceptance and growing sense of preparation for the inevitable. There are things beyond this life that I can feel pulling me closer, he talked about, describing a calm resignation rather than a sense of despondency, as though he had come to grips with something that most of us never comprehend. It's knowing rather than dread. Malcolm's usage of introspective and cryptic quotations has increased in recent weeks, according to those who followed him on social media. Examples include life is a delicate balance of holding on and letting go. These weren't just sporadic posts, they appeared to be Malcolm's method of expressing his thoughts without explicitly saying them. We prepare for the end by living fully. Phylicia also disclosed a particularly unsettling fact 2 days prior to his passing. Malcolm had called her in what she described as a farewell call. His voice was composed but determined, discussing unresolved matters and expressing a desire that people remember him for who he really was, not just for his roles. "I'm ready," I said to her, "but I wanted to do so much more." The mystery is further complicated by reports from close family members who noticed Malcolm had recently started making arrangements usually reserved for end-of-life planning. She admitted that this was the first time she truly realized Malcolm might have known his days were numbered. "If this is the end, I want my story told right." An insider disclosed that Malcolm was always private about these things, but recently he seemed to want everything in order, almost like he was saying goodbye in advance. Friends said he had been discreetly discussing guardianship matters for his children, updating his will, and even organizing a low-key memorial, all of which were completely out of character for a man who had always been impulsive and carefree. Although no pre-existing illness or ailment has been officially attributed to the cause, this has only stoked conjecture. Could Malcolm have been dealing with health problems in private? Was there a deeper motive for his awareness? Perhaps even a death sentence concealed from the public? This is the startling element that nobody anticipated. Phylicia made a suggestion that Malcolm's mental condition might have been impacted by outside threats or pressures. She stated that it was really real and extremely disturbing, but she refused to go into any detail. Fans are left with unsettling questions. Did forces other than natural causes have a role in Malcolm's death? Were his last hours being hurried by someone or something? However, this is not where the narrative ends. Early accounts of Malcolm Jamal Warner's death promptly described it as a terrible drowning accident. There were little specifics. He was discovered unconscious in his house, and the situation was not made apparent. However, after the dust settled, Malcolm's closest friends and family started to voice concerns. Malcolm had a reputation for leading a quiet life away from the limelight of Hollywood. However, his regimen is said to have changed in little but important ways in the weeks leading up to his passing. Several times in the days preceding his passing, Malcolm was spotted strolling along the edge of the Wat, which he had visited since he was a little boy, and which served as a location for introspection and comfort, according to close friends and local sources. He seemed thoughtful and preoccupied, according to witnesses, at times conversing on the phone, and at other times gazing out at the ocean for extended periods of time. According to some friends, Malcolm frequently shared comments about rivers, tides, and the flow of life on social media, demonstrating his profound fascination with water and its significance. Speculation over the cause of his drowning is now fueled by this relationship to water. Local officials promptly initiated the official investigation. Although drowning is confirmed as the cause of death in autopsy findings, some questions are still unanswered. Were there indications of conflict or malice? Although there were no overt indications according to the initial police statement, independent sources indicate that the inquiry is still underway. Did Malcolm have any drugs or alcohol in his system? The delayed release of toxicology tests sparked a lot of conjecture and conspiracy ideas. Why was nothing out of the ordinary heard or seen? According to friends and relatives, Malcolm had been in constant communication, but nobody had any reason to believe that his life was in jeopardy. The inexplicable silence of important individuals who were close to Malcolm only serves to heighten the mystery. Other Cosby Show cast members and close friends have remained silent despite Phylicia Rashad's courageous speech, which has led to speculation about deeper family secrets, legal constraints, or behind-the-scenes disputes. According to multiple accounts, Malcolm was embroiled in private legal disputes concerning the rights to his image and income, which may have had a significant impact on him in his final days. Business conflicts and personal betrayals, according to one insider, made him feel stuck. He was getting tired of it. Although they haven't ruled out other explanations, the authorities haven't ruled out accidental death either. According to some, Malcolm drowned himself, a devastating conclusion for a man who, as Phylicia implied, had accepted his mortality. However, there are also rumors of potential external threats or foul play. Phylicia's reference to pressures suggests this, but there isn't any concrete proof. Was Malcolm attempting to keep someone safe? Was he alerting his loved ones? And why has the public been kept in the dark about so much of this? One thing is obvious. There are many unresolved issues and heartbreaking contradictions surrounding Malcolm Jamal Warner's passing. His latter days depict a man battling both external hardships and inner demons, a tale that must be told in its entirety. Before we explore his legacy in greater detail and how these disclosures have affected followers around the world, Phylicia revealed one more startling fact, something that could permanently alter our memory of Malcolm. Phylicia Rashad's most recent interview upended all expectations just when the world believed it had fully comprehended the horror of Malcolm Jamal Warner's passing. In what can only be called a devastating admission, Phylicia disclosed a fact about Malcolm's last days that not even his closest admirers could have predicted, a fact so significant that it alters the whole story of his death. Phylicia claims that Malcolm revealed to her a very intimate and upsetting fact. He had been struggling with a hidden condition that he had decided to keep hidden from almost everyone in his life. This was no common sickness, it was something that gradually weakened his body and soul. He fought the war alone, in silence. Malcolm never wanted sympathy, she clarified. But he told me that he knew his body was failing him. I felt it coming like a shadow that grew longer every day. He said I wanted to be remembered for my art, my love, and my laughter, not for the struggles he kept hidden. Although Phylicia did not name the specific ailment, those close to Malcolm later revealed that months prior to his passing, he had received a covert diagnosis of a rare neurological disorder that had an impact on his emotional stability, motor skills, and cognitive abilities. The dismal mood, the cryptic signals, and the growing withdrawal were all explained by this. However, this is when the narrative becomes even more sinister. Phylicia disclosed that Malcolm felt under pressure to conceal the diagnosis in order to safeguard his privacy as well as to avoid criticism of his family and job. She claimed that he was worried about how people would perceive him. Pity was not what he wanted. He wished to continue battling without being heard. Malcolm hinted at a profound sense of loneliness in those last discussions, and he voiced remorse for not opening up sooner. He said to Phylicia, "I was bracing myself for the inevitable, but I wished I had more time to say goodbye." Sometimes the hardest battles are the ones no one sees. The emotional weight of these revelations has sparked a surge of support from fans and fellow artists worldwide. To make it even more poignant, Phylicia revealed that Malcolm had made a final request, a plea for his story to inspire others struggling in silence. He wanted people to know that strength isn't about always winning, but about having the courage to keep going when no one is watching. But there's more. In a tearful moment during the interview, Phylicia alluded to another secret Malcolm shared, something that might explain the ominous feeling he carried. He knew something was coming. Many are calling for awareness of neurological diseases and mental health struggles inspired by Malcolm's quiet bravery. The mystery grows. Whether it was his illness or something else, he felt a darkness, a warning, and I think he was prepared to face it. What could this darkness be? Was Malcolm referring to his illness in a metaphorical way, or implying that there were dangers outside? This revelation not only humanizes Malcolm in his last days, but also poses important questions about celebrity privacy, the stigma associated with illness, and how we honor the legacies of those we love. Malcolm Jamal Warner's death has left a void not only in the entertainment industry, but also in the hearts of millions of people who appreciated his talent, kindness, and tenacity. Before we wrap up, we'll look at the global response, how fans are handling it, and what this means for Malcolm Jamal Warner's lasting impact on culture and mental health awareness. From the unsettling feeling that Malcolm knew his time was running out to the terrible secret diagnosis he concealed from the world, to the terrifying prospect of outside forces burdening him, Phylicia Rashad's sincere disclosures have helped us realize that Malcolm's story is much more than a sudden tragedy, and is a potent testament to the silent struggles,
many people face behind closed doors. Malcolm's bravery in facing his illness in private, and his desire to leave a message of strength and hope remind us of the profound importance of compassion and understanding. Each piece adds complexity to a story that is both heartbreaking and important. This story teaches us that even those we see as icons and superheroes are deeply human, and they struggle with fears, pain, and uncertainties just like the rest of us. Supporters from all over the world have come together to share memories, raise awareness of mental health issues, and celebrate Malcolm's contributions both on and off screen. His legacy is about more than just The Cosby Show or his creative accomplishments. It's about bringing attention to the unseen hardships that so many people face in silence. Please remember that sometimes reaching out, speaking up, or offering support can save a life. Thank you for watching and supporting us through this challenging but important story. If there is one lesson to be learned from this story, it is that you should never undervalue the silent strength of those fighting battles you cannot see. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe for more in-depth stories and breaking news, and share it to help raise awareness. Please leave a comment below with what you believe Malcolm wanted the world to know, whether you or someone you care about has experienced a silent struggle, and remember that every story should be told with respect and honesty. And by continuing Malcolm Jamal Warner's message of bravery, we can collectively pay tribute to his memory.